Presentation of aggregate turnover and deemed exports by Rakshita S. M.Com Final, MPM Government First Grade College, Karkala. First, let us know about aggregate turnover. In general, aggregate means total and turnover means sales. So, aggregate turnover means total sales carried out by a supplier in a year. So, according to GST, aggregate turnover means aggregate value of all taxable supplies, excluding the value of inward supplies on which tax is payable by a person on reverse charge basis. Exempt supplies, exports of goods or services or both, and interstate supplies of person having the same permanent account number to be computed on all India basis, but excludes central tax, state tax, union territory tax, integrated tax, and cess. So, aggregate turnover includes taxable supplies. Taxable supplies are those supplies of product on which GST is applicable, and exempted supplies include nil rated supplies, exempted supplies, and non-taxable supplies. Nil rated supplies are those supplies on which GST is payable at nil rate, such as vegetable, milk, etc. Exempted supplies are those supplies on which GST is payable at is exempt. Non-taxable supplies are those supplies on which GST is not applicable, such as petrol, diesel, alcoholic liquor for human consumption. The analysis of definition for computing aggregate turnover is discussed below. Turnover of all products. It is evident from the definition that turnover of all supplies, whether taxable supplies, exempted supplies and exports, should be aggregated to compute the limit of rupees 20 lakhs or rupees 10 lakhs. So, aggregate turnover includes taxable supplies, exempted supplies and exports. Turnover on basis of PAN. It is further provided that the aggregate turnover of person having permanent account number will be computed on all India basis. Thus say if the person has branch in 3 different states, then turnover of all the branches will be considered to compute aggregate turnover. So while computing aggregate turnover on all India basis, the turnover from all branches in different states will be considered. Value of turnover will not include CGST, SGST, IGST charged on such supply. It is also provided in the definition of aggregate turnover that the value of turnover will not include the CGST, SGST and IGST charged on such supply. Thus, only transaction value computed as per section 15 of the GST Act will be aggregated to compute the limit. So, aggregate turnover include all tax except GST, that is central tax, state GST as well as integrated GST. Reverse charge and inward supplies. It is specifically mentioned in the definition that aggregate turnover will not include the value of supply on which tax is paid on reverse charge basis and the value of inward supplies. So, reverse charge, if you make any purchase made from unregistered seller, tax has to be paid by purchaser on reverse charge basis. Exempt reverse charge basis, and inward supplies include supplies from registered dealer and unregistered dealer. Both will not be included under aggregate turnover. Supply on account and on behalf of principal will be included. GST Act provides that for computing the aggregate turnover of supplies made by the taxable person, whether on his own account or on behalf of principal, needs to be considered. Both are included under aggregate turnover. A person can make a supply of goods on his own account and as an agent of principal also. As per clause 1 of the 1, the value of both the supplies will be aggregated for the purpose of computing rupees 20 lakhs or rupees 10 lakhs. The supply of goods by principal after completion of the job. The GST Act further provides that the value of such supplies will be included in the turnover of principal for the purpose of computing rupees 20 lakhs or 10 lakh rupees. Then let us know about deemed exports. Introduction. Deemed exports refers to supplies of goods manufactured in India and not services, which are notified as deemed exports under Section 147 of the CGST or SGST Act 2017. The supplies do not leave India. The payment for such supplies is received either in Indian rupees or in convertible foreign exchange. So, these are those supplies which do not leave India. Supply of goods within India are called as deemed exports. Then let us have an example about deemed export, which will help to know what is deemed export as well as how it is different from export. Dealer A, located in Rajasthan, sells goods to dealer B, which is an EOU. EOU means export oriented unit. B, in return, sells the goods to a customer C in Germany. Supply by A to B is treated as deemed exports and supply by B to C is treated as exports. So I think you understood from the example that what is export and what is deemed export. Deemed exports are not zero rated supplies by the default. Unlike the regular exports, hence all supplies notified as supply for deemed export will be subject to levy of taxes. That is, such supplies can be made on payment of tax and cannot be supplied under a bond or LUT. LUT means letter of undertaking. So, as the explanation says, all exports are only treated as zero rated export, but deemed exports are not treated as zero rated supplies. So, tax is payable on deemed exports. However, the refund of tax paid on supply regarded as deemed exports is admissible either the supplier or the recipient. Even though GST is payable on deemed export, refund is available under deemed export. The application for refund has to be filed by the supplier or the recipient subject to certain condition of deemed export supplies as the case may be. Categories of supply of goods notified as deemed exports in excess of power conferred under Section 147 of the CGST Act. The central government has issued notification 48/2017 Central Tax dated 18/10/2017 wherein the following categories of supply of goods has been declared as deemed exports. So following are treated as deemed exports. Supply of goods by the registered person against advanced authorization. Advanced authorization means an authorization issued by the Director General of Foreign Trade under Chapter 4 of Foreign Trade Policy 1520 for import or domestic procurement of inputs on pre-import basis for physical exports. So, advance authorization is a scheme where the import of inputs will be allowed to be made duty free. After making normal allowance of for wastage, an export obligation is usually set as a condition for issuing advance authorization. Supply of capital goods by a registered person against export promotion capital goods authorization. Export promotion capital good authorization means an authorization issued by Director General for Foreign Trade under Chapter 5 of the Foreign Trade Policy 2015-20 for import of capital goods for physical exports. Supply of goods by a registered person to export oriented unit, that is EOU. Export oriented unit means export oriented unit or electronic hardware technology park unit or software technology park unit or biotechnology park unit, approved in accordance with the provision of Chapter 6 of the Foreign Trade Policy 2015-20. So, supply to EOU, EHTP, STP as well as BTP is treated as deemed export. Procedure to be followed in respect of supplies to EOU, EHTP, STP, BTP units, that is deemed export. Circular number 1414/17 GST dated 6/11/2017 provides the following procedure to be followed in respect of supplies to EOU, EHTP, STP as well as BTP units, that is deemed exports. The prior intimation in Form A is required to be furnished by the recipient. Such Form A should be in running serial number. The form should be in a running serial number as pre-approved by the Development Commissioner, and it should be contain details of goods to be procured and details of supplier. It should include both the details of goods as well as the details of supplier. Such Form A must be filed by the recipient before deemed export supplies are made. The copy of intimation in Form A is required to be submitted with the registered supplier, the jurisdictional GST officer in charge of such registered supplier, and the jurisdictional GST officer of recipient unit. The registered supplier on receipt of such intimation in Form A will supply goods under appropriate tax invoice. On receipt of such supplies by EOU, EHTP, STP or BTP units, the unit would endorse the tax invoice. The endorsed copy of such tax invoice needs to be submitted with the registered supplier, the jurisdictional GST officer in charge of such registered supplier, and the jurisdictional GST officer of recipient unit. The endorsed copy of tax invoice will be considered as a proof of deemed export supplies. So, endorsed copy is treated as a proof for deemed export supplies. The recipient unit shall maintain records of such deemed exports in the digital form based upon the data element contained in Form B. So, the form should be in the digital form. Thank you.